Hey everyone, welcome back to the channel. Today we are looking at what we should expect from the new iPhone 16 lineup. We just had WWDC about a week ago now, so that means we're cranking into tech season. I think we have about 6 months or so until the new iPhone comes out. I've been really enjoying my iPhone 15. I use this, obviously every day, but for photos, videos, I've recorded some videos for this channel on my iPhone. You probably didn't even notice, but it's something that I've been doing and kind of sneaking in every now and then. But it's been a fantastic phone. There are some things that I would like to see in the new iPhone 16 lineup and 16 Pro lineup. We are going to check out the laptop here. I have it here. We're going over a few different rumors and theories of what's coming up. This article I'm reading is from our friends over at macrumors.com. Great website. I use them even before I did YouTube. That's where I get a lot of my Apple news, so they're definitely a good resource if you haven't heard of them before. So let's just dive right into it. So the iPhone 16 lineup, the first thing that draws my attention is this weird new pill-shaped camera. So you have the cameras stacked on top of each other, instead of like the 3 hot stove looking things as it's been for the last few years. These phones definitely are a little reminiscent of like Samsung phones. I haven't really used them, although the new Samsung Galaxy S or 24 or whatever it is, apologies to any Android users out there, that phone looks fantastic. And if I was in the market for an Android phone, or maybe I could carry 2 phones with me, that would definitely be one that I would pick up. We see here that, of course, they're going to increase the size of the iPhone 16 Pro to 6.3 inches and the size of the iPhone 16 Pro Max to 6.9 inches. This is, maybe I'm in the minority, but phones are getting too big. I had the 12 mini and I loved the 12 mini. It was probably one of my favorite phones besides like the iPhone 5, which is behind that lamp over there, deconstructed if you can see it. That was my favorite phone. The mini series was definitely one of my top favorite phones. I just wish they had a Pro version. If there was an iPhone mini Pro, that would be the perfect phone for me. Just the battery life was brutal, and it was fine during like COVID times when I was at home and I could just like charge it every now and then. But when all the COVID restrictions kind of lifted and I was back out in the wild, I just found my phone dying really fast, and it just wasn't, all that great. They also don't have ProMotion, which I don't really mind too much on my studio display, but on a phone, it's definitely more noticeable because of the scrolling that you're doing. So again, if they had an iPhone Mini Pro, that would be great. I don't think we're ever getting that because it seems like the wave is to just keep getting phones, making them larger and larger and larger. Of course, there will be new A-series chips in the phone. That's not really anything new. The action button, this is an interesting one. So we saw in the 15 that it's only limited to the Pro line, and it looks like they're going to expand the action button to the regular 16 series lineup. They're not gonna, they will have a 16 Pro obviously, but the action button won't be just for those phones. And I guess it's nice for people who haven't experienced it yet, and they can maybe like do some customizations that might be kind of useful. But for me, using the action button, I have found not very much value because on the screen, you have your flashlight, you have your camera. Like there's nothing else that I really need to like quickly access on the phone. So mine is set to sleep mode. So when I'm laying in bed or whatever and just reaching over on my nightstand, I'll just, click the action button and my phone goes into sleep mode. Again, I could just swipe down and turn on the sleep mode, but I felt like I needed it mapped to something. So that's kind of what I came up with. If you haven't used the action button before, maybe you can find some cool things. And if you find some cool things to do with your action button, let me know. But they are adding this thing called a capture button. And they're saying that it will work like the shutter button on a digital camera, detecting multiple levels of pressure for focusing and then capturing an image. So that's cool. If you have any sort of experience with a camera, you're holding it and you lightly tap down the shutter and it focuses. Or if you have different compositions. You can exposure lock and then move everything around. And I guess the phone's gonna be the same way. So if you're taking your phone here and you, I guess, are taking a photo or a video maybe underneath, I'd probably use it underneath. I guess you just slowly kind of press it in. You can focus, I guess, instead of pressing the screen. That definitely might seem to be a pro feature, but I guess we will have to wait and see. As we mentioned earlier, the iPhone 16 models, Apple is planning a new vertical camera lens arrangement. Again, I don't love it, but maybe there's some, let's see here. Oh, the new orientation will presumably allow the standard iPhone 16 models to capture spatial video for the Vision Pro headset. So I guess with them being in that orientation, they can capture those spatial videos that you can use for your Vision Pro. And I guess having them in a different orientation doesn't allow you to do that. I'm not too sure. I'm not too familiar with that. The colors, so it says that it's gonna be blue, pink, yellow, green, black, white, and purple, which is pretty cool. I always then get like the white or the gray. I really like the titanium in this new phone. I think that was a really solid choice. The colored ones, although lately, have been kind of fun. Like if you never had a colored phone before, I feel like it might be, maybe it's your year to get one. And it makes sense because with my phone, I set it down all the time and I can never find it because it's like blending in with my desk or the couch. Or like in my truck, everything is black in there, so it just gets all camouflaged. So if I had a nice bright pink phone, maybe I'll be able to find my phone a little bit better. MagSafe, it just seems like it's getting a little bit slimmer, maybe cutting down those magnetic ring sizes, which to me doesn't really matter. I'm not really a huge MagSafe person. I don't have wireless charging. I don't really do a lot of wireless charging. I think the only time I really use MagSafe is for mounting options, like in the car or maybe a case or something, but other than that, I don't really use them. You can see kind of, the sizes here, the 6.9 to the 6.7 and comparing the sizes of the phones, which is pretty cool. The square camera bump that houses the 3 lens. Okay, so you can see that it's gonna continue to use the square camera bump, which is nice, so you don't scratch any of your lenses there. The sizes, again, I don't really care that much about because I'm stuck, I guess, getting a bigger phone. OLED panel, that would be the iPhone 16 OLED panel could use micro lens technology for both improved brightness and reduced power consumption. So that would be great if it was OLED. I didn't really have much experience with OLED prior to getting my LG C1 TV, and let me tell you, that thing is nice. Watching any show on there, right now we're watching House of the Dragon, and the colors are so nice. I can't even imagine having an iPhone with an OLED screen. That is going to be awesome. And of course, improved brightness, that is super important, especially with OLED panels, because in order to get those nice, sharp, contrasty, punchy colors, you need the brightness. Of course, you want more brightness and more power, but you want to save on battery, so hopefully they can kind of figure that out. We kind of talked about that. Thermals, RAM, 16 could be upgraded to 8 gigabytes of RAM. That's great. I don't really do a lot of heavy duty lifting on my phone. I think the only time that I've had some like stuttering issues is when I'm like recording in ProRes log and transferring it to like an SD card and then maybe flipping back and forth between like Photoshop and Lightroom, and you can kind of see that's using a lot of memory. So having, I guess, an 8 gigabyte processor or RAM would be pretty cool. Wi-Fi 7, 5G, I mean, that's pretty much expected. You want to have these latest and greatest connections. USB-C port, of course, that is going to be the new standard. Lightning is pretty much dead unless you have the AirPod Max, which I have, and they don't have a USB-C version, so it's great having USB-C on like my iPad and the laptop and my phone, but when I travel, I still have to carry a Lightning port for the AirPod Max and actually for the Apple wireless MagSafe battery. I use that thing and I love it as an accessory, but it runs off of Lightning. Annoying. AI capabilities. This was a big thing on WWDC. I'm not going to really get into that. Maybe I'll do like another breakdown of WWDC where they're kind of introducing Apple, their AI, Apple Intelligence is what they call it. There'll probably just be some upgraded interactions with Siri and being able to really hone in on your information, and not in a bad way, but just like scan your phone for information. I think the example they gave at WWDC was if your mom, say, sent you an email itinerary of her flight and it's now a month later and you're like, oh, hey, so-and-so, I'm not gonna say it because all my devices are gonna go off. What time does mom's flight get in? And then it will be able to like siphon through your email and then find that relevant information for you, which is pretty cool. Microphone improvements, camera technology. With the latest things that Apple is doing, it seems like they're really pushing that prosumer line, especially with the Pro phones, with like, they're now recording all of their events on iPhone. They have this sweet deal, it seems like, coming out with like Blackmagic, which is a camera company if you're not familiar. So they're really pushing creators and videographers, cinematographers, anyone that is really in the creative space to start using their iPhone more for their creations, which is pretty cool. Battery, again, it's always nice to have more battery, but we don't want to sacrifice any internals for more battery. And unfortunately, again, when I was talking about the mini iPhones, it had a smaller battery because it, of course, was a smaller phone, so there's less space for you to put a bigger battery. But again, we don't want to sacrifice the RAM, the processor, any sort of like fans and cooling, because there is some issues still with the iPhone 15 and the 15 Pros overheating or getting really hot when charging. So we don't want to sacrifice those things just to have a little bit more time on our phone. It's probably best actually if we have less time on our phones. Just saying. Pricing, so there's not really a whole lot of here about pricing, but it seems like the 16, of course, will probably be more expensive. I don't have the data, but I can only imagine that the newer phones year over year have, of course, they've never decreased. I don't think you've ever had a new phone come out and it was cheaper than the last one. So we'll see. And then, of course, the iPhone 16 models are expected to come out in September, which is the third Apple event of the year. Usually they have three. One in the beginning of the year for like early spring for maybe some new iPads, some accessories, maybe some larger announcements. Again, we just had WWDC, which is in June, which gives you more software-related updates, iOS 18, macOS, iPadOS, and then, of course, the big one is, again, in September-ish time, October sometimes it's been, where the new MacBooks, the iPhones, Apple Vision Pro, like the heavyweight lineup comes out. So it seems like overall, there's not a whole lot that is really standing out to me as like groundbreaking. Of course, you expect there to be minimal changes over time, and you expect the stuff from the Pro line to then be pushed down to the standard line on the next one. What I mean by that is the stuff on the 15 Pro getting pushed down to the 16, and then stuff on the 16 Pro, you know, will be on the iPhone 17. So they get incrementally better over time. None of these rumors, or even if they're like certified this is what's happening, is really standing out to me now. The one thing that I do want, like I said, is OLED would be really cool. I think OLED would be cool if they can get the brightness down and they can get the battery to where it is, because even though I want to be on my phone less, I don't want to have another like mini situation where the phone, I'm charging it by lunchtime. That's just not going to be great. So better resolution. I don't really care about the camera. I think the camera right now is phenomenal. So if it's only going to get better, then that's also awesome. I mean, you could go out and get an iPhone 10 and shoot fantastic videos if you wanted to. So yeah, I think that's pretty much it. If you guys are looking for anything in particular for the iPhone, let me know down in the comments. If you want to see more of these videos, some rumored videos coming out, definitely subscribe, let me know. And I guess until next time, I'll see you when I make another video.